Rhodes, and I am against the abolishment of the transatlantic slave trade. I believe that slavery is useful because it makes it possible for simple merchants to become wealthy, and at the same time, it lowers the production cost of many crops such as sugar, tobacco, and cotton. I consider slavery to be just because it is tolerated and practiced in the Bible. Slavery also benefits the slaves themselves, as they are taken from their barbaric homeland and brought to civilized places like America and Europe, allowing them to learn religion and to live through Christ. It also teaches them how to live and be integrated into modern society. The slave trade allows simple merchants to become very wealthy and lowers the price of harvesting crops. Slaves fill the need of cheap labor because they are bought at low prices and sometimes traded for goods with the African leaders. They have the physical ability to do the labor that they are presented with, and they do not live in poverty, nor are they being starved, as their masters provide them with shelter and food. Slaves have become a vital part of the economy, not only to America and Europe, but also to Africa. Africa sells us the people that they have already enslaved, or their prisoners of war. Europe and America delivers the goods and gold to Africa, who willingly sell us their slaves because it fuels their economy. Without the slave trade, Africa's economy would crash, just like America's and Europe's. If not for the transatlantic slave trade, how would America and Europe produce the goods needed to trade for slaves in Africa, and how would Africa receive foreign goods like cotton, sugar, and tobacco that we produce? Slaves have been around for many years. The Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, and now the English and Americans have all used slaves. In the Bible, even Abraham had slaves. In the Ten Commandments, it states, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant." Slavery was widespread, but Jesus never spoke out against or for slavery. In Ephesians 6:5, it states, "Slaves, obey your earthly masters with deep respect and fear. Serve them sincerely as you would serve Christ." The statement speaks for itself. The Bible says that slaves should obey their masters as if they were serving Christ. Every past civilization has used the slave trade or slavery, and they have all been some of the most successful civilizations in our history. Many Greek, Roman, and Egyptian values are still practiced and still exist today. If slavery is tolerated and practiced in the Bible and in many past civilizations, why should we abolish the slave trade? To be taken out of their homeland benefited the slaves. When they are being taken to America and Europe, slaves are being taught religion and the various ways to fit into modern European and American society. In their own African society, as criminals and former slaves, they are incapable of progress, so it is beneficial for us to enslave them. They are under protection of their masters and are given basic necessities such as food and shelter. Also, slaves are unfit for other jobs because many are uneducated, and slavery enables them to become involved in mainstream culture. In slavery, slaves are able to lead a life without having to fear about food, shelter, and protection from many other dangers they have faced in Africa. Slavery is vital to society in many ways. It is accepted and practiced in the Bible as well as many other religions and older civilizations. It helps simple merchants become wealthy while simultaneously lowering the production cost of our crops. The slaves benefit from being taken from their homeland because we give them the opportunity to be integrated into American and European society as slaves. Both the African American and European economy benefit from the transatlantic slave trade. That is why I, Bishop Rhodes, am against abolishing slavery.